Have you ever said these words to yourself? I haven't exercised since I was younger and I'm too old. And is it too late for me to start now? Um, and that is the exact topic that Sal and I are going to be talking about today in Fitness After 50 FAQs. And I'm just going to start by saying it's never too late to start. So that's first and foremost. I'm also going to add into this before I roll into, the topics or the points that I want to share with you today. I'm not someone who was an exerciser. So, this thing about I haven't exercised since I was young, well, that was, not even me. It was like I just hit, those 40s and was going through some health issues and menopause. And it was like, oh, well, hang on a minute, what's changing here? So I need to do something. I didn't think about that it was too late to start or that I was too old. It was just, I need to do something because the wheels are falling off here. So, and I know, Sal, that you were someone who didn't do structured exercise. So similar to myself, I didn't do any structured exercise, but I did do sports days and, sports at school and things like that. And you did, was it netball?
Basketball.
Basketball. Oh,
We're a
yeah,
basketball family. Yeah.
yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's basketball. It's a little bit faster paced, isn't it, than netball?
Yes, it is.
I remember, at school getting asked to do netball, and I looked at it and I went, "Oh no, that thing's too slow for me," because I was a sprinter. That I love sports days. So, I ended up getting into hockey. So that was where I went. But anyway,
Yeah.
so I digress. But I think the first thing to know about that it's never too late is that you have this real physical health transformation when you exercise, because it not only changes, your cardiovascular health, it helps you build muscle strength, endurance, increases your flexibility, reduces the risk of, chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and all those types of things. So I want to talk about Carmel because she's such a little champion. So today I thought we'd do something a little bit different in the fact that I've picked 3 of our 70-something ladies to talk about. And so feel free to jump in and share your stories about these ladies. I want to talk about Carmel. And as I said, she is in her 70s. And she sent this really big email to me a couple of weeks back. And when I went through that, she said, I'm doing okay. And that's how Carmel is, I'm doing okay, but I'm not like I used to be. But she understands, these physical and health benefits that are happening because she continues to exercise. Now, I was watching her through the week this week, Sal, and literally I just went, oh my goodness, her range of motion is like double what it used to be. And how I remember, the squats, how far down she would get, now how far down she is getting, which means that she's able to get up and down off the floor a lot easier. So when she was getting up and down off the floor, she would be holding onto the bed, next to her in the room that she does her workouts in. And she'd use that to lever herself down. Whereas now she's just out there on the hands, or she's just, sitting down. And I know that is such a positive thing for her because she has her son and daughter-in-law living with her with the little grandchild. And I now see her lifting that grandchild with so much more ease because they come in after she's finished. So we get the opportunity to see those changes first and foremost and how it's impacted her everyday life. What would you like to share about Carmel?
This is what we mean when we are talking about participating in life.
Yeah.
That's an example of what we mean. Lifting up your grandchildren, getting on the floor playing with your grandchildren.
Yeah.
You know, that's just one point of participating in life.
Yeah.
That's what we talk about. Yeah.
And she recently got on a plane by herself and went to Wimbledon
Yeah.
and, wandered around and looked at things and went hiking and did all sorts of things when she was away. And she's doing these things because she can do it because her body supports her doing it.
Yeah.
And she's someone who didn't start exercising till she hit her 70s.
Yeah. And her mind is supporting her doing it. She now has the confidence to do that stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
You know?
Exactly. So point one is that you're never too old, and think about, those physical health transformations that you'll experience when you do start exercising. The other one that I wanted to go down with was Diane. Like Diane, I remember her 2 weeks in, and she walked in and she's gone, I don't know why I'm getting out of bed at this time to exercising. It's just like, why am I doing this? And she said, and then all of a sudden I had this epiphany. She said, I actually reached down and I did up my shoelaces, and I wasn't able to do that before. so, so she went, oh, okay, it is working, and it is showing up in life. So she just kept on
2
going.
weeks after.
2 weeks after. That's right. So you do notice things very, very quickly, as long as you're in tune with the things that you can't do. And we're always in tune with the things that we can't do, right?
And don't brush them off. Like,
Mm-mm.
that's a big thing, as you age. That's a big thing that, we can't bend over to do our shoes up. Or if we do bend over to do our shoes up, it is an actual physical workout because you're huffing and puffing and, you can't stand on more than one foot. So acknowledge that's huge. I'm able to do my shoes. Wow.
Like my mum can't even get her leg up off the ground. She has to put her shoes on by bringing her foot across her body.
Yeah.
But there are times there where I know that I've got to lift her leg up to be able for her to put that shoe on. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a huge thing. And we have Andre of a morning, and I know she's told you that she can stand on one foot now.
Yes.
And put her shoes on.
Yeah, totally. What do they call that? The old man test. Yeah, it is the old man test. Yeah. So you stand on one leg, you take your shoe off, your sock off, you place them on the ground, and then you lean down and still staying on one leg, and then you pick them all up and you put them all back on again. Yeah, it's a great test. But, you may not be at that stage right now. So, but there are ways that you can get to that.
Yeah.
The other thing that I was thinking about with it, Sal, is the mental and emotional well-being that comes from exercising. And I know that this is a key thing for Roz. So she started exercising because she was, noticing those niggles in her body. And she knew that she needed to change something to help her move a little bit better. And, she was a little lonely as well too. And her emotional state was not great. And by her starting to exercise, she was then able to get outside and, embrace walking, which means she's been able to do that with other people, but she's also been able to do it by herself, which has been a godsend for her, because that's when it helps her emotionally deal with the things that are going on in her life.
Yeah. And a lot of people struggle to work out by themselves. They need someone with them.
Yeah.
But it's such a huge benefit to, as you said, for Roz, it's a huge benefit to her emotionally.
And I don't know how many women over the past 20 years that we've been doing this, that we've had ladies suffering from depression or anxiety, and just they have just said, by exercising, I just help myself feel so much better. And isn't that
And
what
you
it's about?
Yeah.
I know you've experienced that. I know that I've experienced that as well too. You know, I started walking in particular when I was 11, because my nana had passed away, and I didn't know how to cope with that because she was such a significant part of life. So, you know, that in itself was of benefit to me as a child, because I would just walk along to school, you know, and looking at this sky, you know, the light filtering through the trees, all of those types of things. And I honestly believe that movement combined with nature really does heal. There's a book that I've read about it as well too. So there, and I'm sure there's a lot of research around it.
Yeah. And as you age, you know, depression isn't just for certain demographics or people, or however you want to put it. As
No.
you age, there's things that happen in your life that you go, oh, okay, you know, like I've been very, after what's happened last year, I've been very mindful of what's, you know, what's in my future. You know, my kids are still got to leave home, so I think about that a lot. You know, I now have a grandson in the mix, so I'm worried about him.
Yeah.
You know, you might have older parents that you're still looking after, so you have older parents but grandkids as well. So it's all those things that are going on in your mind as well. And exercise absolutely makes you feel better.
And it's also, how do you balance those things as well? You know, and I was talking to one of the ladies about that. They call us the sandwich generation. So we do have the younger people that we're still dealing with, but we also have the older people that might be, you know, a partner or a significant person in your life, but it also may be, you know, your parents as an example. And so you want to be there to support them, but you also want to be there to support the younger people, which basically leaves you no time for yourself. But if you can give yourself those few moments, and it doesn't have to be a lot of time, just some time, it will help you physically and mentally as well too. The other thing that I was thinking about is how it helps you age more gracefully and enhances the quality of your life. And when I was thinking about some client who just shines the light on this, I'd have to say it was Helen.
Oh, this Helen.
Yeah. So you were thinking Helen? Yeah.
Her smile,
her smile lights up a room. Now, she started exercising in her later 60s. So she has since been with us and turned 70. So she's into her 70s now. But just the glow that comes from Helen just radiates a room, and, you know, just comes straight down that line, because we're in a virtual studio, and you just feel good when you're around her. And I do recall her telling me she was getting all these renos done at home. And so they started outside the house, and they were doing all the gardens and everything like that. She was out there almost all day with the landscaper, you know, wheelbarrowing things, and they would look at her and go, geez, you're pretty fit for an old thing. So she'd be running those wheelbarrows around and emptying mulch out and helping them. And then she'd still come and do her exercise afterwards, because she said, that's why I can do those things. But when they moved inside to do the inside of the house, she, you know, was up on a ladder, you know, cleaning ceilings and walls and doing all sorts of things. And then this one day she was putting some stuff in the skip, and it was a great big long window covering, I think it was. And she said, I looked at it and I went, oh, geez, it won't fit in there. She said, so I climb up there, I lean into it and I pull this thing out. And then I wanted to bend it in so it would fit in. She said, and I got down. She said, my neighbour was watching me and went, I was looking at you thinking, what on earth or how on earth are you going to deal with this? And she said, I can't believe what you've done. And she said, I can't believe what I just did either.
Yeah.
So, look, there are so many reasons to start exercising, and it doesn't matter whether you're 40, 50, 70, 80, 60. It doesn't matter what age you are. The physical benefits, the emotional benefits, how you live better in life is going to come from exercising. We so much think about, I need to be a particular weight. But the reality is that if we can flip that switch and go, I just need to be stronger and more flexible to do things in life, we're not making it as hard for ourselves. And we're more likely to go, hang on a minute, I can do this and I will start. Anything you want to wrap up with, Sil?
I would just like you to make a promise to yourself when you start that you give it more than one day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We can oftentimes join a gym or start exercising, and after one day we go, no, I don't like this. Make it a non-negotiable and give yourself a month and then come back and tell us you're not feeling any better.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because we can often when we think we don't like something, it's just simply because it's new and we're out of our comfort zone. So just persevering with it is important. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining me, Sel. Thanks for joining us,
Thank you
ladies.
for having me.
We'll see you all
Bye.
soon. Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye.